Okay. Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Roberts. If you're joining us, this is a series. I call it the Gold Mastermind because the intention behind it is getting to this place of growing 100 points a month. And when you find yourself in this place in your Plexus business, you're not only getting to gold, which is our third rank in our compensation plan, but you're creating momentum and success loves speed. And so the thing about science is, an object in motion will stay in motion until it's stopped, right? So the same thing can be said about your business. For those of you that are avoiding actions, you probably feel like the object that's not in motion, and that's okay. So we're going to kind of walk through the different processes. The first week, we talked about mindset. You can find all these recordings on my YouTube channel, but the first two, we talked about mindset, and this is 80% mindset, 20% skill set. The second week, we went through the processes that when you want to be a business builder, you're creating that. You're creating an action plan. If you're looking for business builders to do this with, you create business builders. You do not find business builders. And so that's what we talked about last week. Today and tonight, overall, we're going to kind of go over all the different processes and what it looks like. And then tonight's more so the process of I'm signed up. Now I want to help other people get the ball rolling too. So overall, in the last two Zooms and tonight, this is what we've covered is number one, maybe you haven't been engaging in the process of creating a business builder. Maybe you haven't been engaged consistently in your Plexus business. Maybe you're not engaging in the process completely. So like you make a post every now and then, or what we like to call posting and praying, where you make a post and you're just like, well, I hope I sign a diamond out of this, right? And then you're not engaging in the process effectively. So some of you are like, Emily, I'm doing all the things. Why can I not rank up? Why can I not maintain my points? Why are my points going backwards? And so for some of you, that's simply because you are sharing, but you're not following up with those that are interested or that you are sharing with. And we know in all of sales, in the Plexus is sales, just newsflash for anyone that's like, sales? Well, we sell gut health. Come on, y'all, health and happiness. But when you are in sales, it takes 8 to 12 exposures before anybody makes a decision. So if you have reached out to someone in the past, or if you've made a post and someone commented, I'm interested, or what is the pink drink, or what is Plexus, and you excitedly go to their inbox and you excitedly tell them, oh my goodness, this is Plexus, this is what I'm doing, and you're so excited, and they thumbs up you, right? I call it the middle finger of messenger. Y'all have heard me say this, but they thumbs up you and you're like, well, that was an underwhelming response. I thought they were going to be like as excited as I am, right? Because in our mind, you have your brain's probably going one of two ways when you are in action in your Plexus business. You're either super hopeful and excited, or you're more so on that self-doubt. I'm still kind of skeptical about it myself. So why do I want to talk about it? And so I want to kind of find you a happy medium so that you are hopeful and excited all the time. So this business opportunity goes the same way as those sales, right? So 8 to 12 exposures. This is why we say to talk about gut health on social media every single day, just as much as your kid making straight A's, your kid hitting that grand slam, your dog's doing silly tricks, your new house, your new paint color, your new Stanley Cup, whatever it is you're talking about on the internet. You've got to include gut health into that because so many do not realize how detrimental it is to your health. Like it's seriously just, I mean, I've shared this with y'all many times. I thought probiotics were for old people. And if you identify as an old person, do not take offense to that. But I was 24 and I didn't know what I didn't know. I just thought probiotics were not for me until one doctor was like, Emily, what? Yes, of course they're for you. You need a quality one. And she was like, I'm not trying to sell you one from my practice. Find one on Amazon or ask a friend. Well, I had seen a friend, which I think she's on tonight. Holly had been posting about gut health for a while. And I was like, right? We're going to get there in a minute, but some will make this decision real quick. And then some of the people you talk to, they need 8 to 12 exposures. They need you to talk to them 8 to 12 times before they make a decision. How many of you have children or a spouse? I can't help but think of the times I need something from my spouse or my children. Do we not have to ask them 8 to 12 times? Yeah. Anybody? No. Okay. My husband maybe didn't hear me. He's in the living room. But I'm just saying sometimes it takes 8 to 12 times for that to sink in. Oh, you wanted me to get that off the ground. Oh, you wanted me to go put that away, right? It's the same thing in your businesses, guys. So this business opportunity is the same way as those sales. It's that exposure of 8 to 12 times because a lot of people just can't see themselves doing this, right? Maybe yourself included. And some of you are doing this thing now and you're like, I'm ready to grow silvers. I'm ready to make silvers because one, Plexus offers a trip called the Silver Stars Trip. Okay. Write that down, highlight it, put it on your dream board. This is a very special trip that you can earn when you develop like 6 to 10 brand new silvers in a month, in a calendar month. And let me tell you something. Plexus rolls out the red carpet for the people that earn this trip. They fly you to home office, which is in Scottsdale, Arizona. It is beautiful there. There's tons of shopping. They put you up in the Omni Hotel with one of the best spas. You get a spa day. They give you money to go on a shopping spree. And then you have dinner with 2 corporate executives. You never know who you're going to get. So it's kind of a little fun toss up. And you get to take somebody with you. There's usually 2 earners. So you get to meet another person that's growing their business. You can take your spouse or your bestie or whoever, and you can sit there and you can ask the executives, maybe it's Gene, our CEO, and you're like, Gene, I have a question for you, right? I like to ask him really hard questions and put him on the spot, but like, that is how important it is to develop silvers. Like Plexus recognizes it in a bougie red carpet trip. Okay. So put it on your dream board. It's not just about, oh, let me just grow my paycheck. Let me help. No, you are casting vision. You're literally changing someone's life. And you are showing people like, listen, you don't have to go deliver DoorDash. You can actually talk about gut health from your home to make $300 to $500 extra dollars a month. Okay. And the reason why people don't think they can do it is just that they don't believe they can. And so most people call these objections or reasons, or we think they're excuses, whatever. And most of the time, the number one thing is, I don't have the money. Let me ask my spouse. I'm too busy / I don't want to be a salesperson. I kind of like, I've heard it all at this point. I've been doing this for almost a decade. And so when people say something to me and I'm like, now listen, Paula, let's talk about this. Or, my favorite thing to ask people is, well, tell me more about that. What do you think is required of you? Why do you think you have to be a salesperson? Well, how much do you think Plexus is? What do you mean you don't have enough money? We haven't even gone over prices yet. Like, I think being naturally curious about the people you're having Plexus conversations with is going to lead you beyond objections and get you answers that they weren't willing to come up with from the get-go, right? Because they're reserved. They think that you're just there in their inbox trying to convince them to do Plexus. But if we spent more time connecting and being curious, they're gonna tell you some things. So I have a question. Did you see yourself doing this, right? The first time you heard about Plexus, or maybe I reached out to you, or maybe your upline sent you a message, put it in the chat. Did you see yourself actually wanting to work this business? Now, some of you are going to be like, heck yeah, I did. I need some money, honey. And then the other half of you are probably like me and were really, really skeptical. And some of you are like, absolutely never. No, I did not. Never crossed my mind. I see Holly shaking her head because she's like, no, ma'am, like that was just not for me. And I was super mean to Holly. I was like, listen here, girl, you tell anybody I'm doing this, I will come for you. I will come for your firstborn. I was so ugly because I had done network marketing before and I assumed they were all very similar. And I got burned in that company that I was in for 4 years. I worked very, very hard to make back what I put in. And I was basically told to sit down and color because I like to be creative and goofy and silly, as most of you know. And that just wasn't allowed at that time, or that's how I felt. And so I wanted something that aligned with me forever, not temporarily, because I'm a mom now. Like, listen, I like to get dressed up and wear makeup all day, but I wasn't trying to sell it for the rest of my life. And so I feel like gut health is something that is sellable because it's your life. You only get one body. You only get one life, and gut health is forever. So for those of you that said yes or no, do you remember your objection? Maybe you said no for a while. For me, I said no for a while. And my objection to Holly was, I don't even know what my first objection to Holly was. I think I just told her no, or I ghosted her. If Holly, if you remember, put it in the chat. But I just think at the time, I knew I didn't have money. but I was really like egotistical and I didn't want anybody to know I didn't have money, but we're military. So like, where my military people at? Like, everybody knows you don't have money. I was 24. What did I know? So that was my objection. But like, my real objection, as you guys just discovered, was I had done network marketing before, or I had done something like this before, and I just assumed it was going to be the same as the last time. But here's the thing. My circumstances were way different. I had a baby. I left corporate America on purpose to stay home because I could not afford childcare. I would have been working for free. The money that I made in corporate America, which was great money, literally I was breaking even with how much childcare and formula and diapers and gas to get there and back and to work was. So that just wasn't, that did not appeal to me. And I was like, you know what? I like people. I have social media. Like, why not try this? Like, why not try that? And that hope kind of kicked in. I didn't dare let Holly know I was hopeful, but it was kicking in. And I was like, if I just, you know what I mean? So if you remember what that objection was, I would love to hear it in the chat. If not, it's no big deal. So tonight, knowing that backstory, knowing that you're going to be told no, or you're going to have to overcome objections, you're going to get rejected. Knowing that going into this, you can still effectively create business builders. And I think by setting that clear expectation that some will say yes, some will say no, some are just curious and they need more information, and it takes 8 to 12 bits and pieces for you to revisit them and add value to them. Like if I'm going to go back to Whitney and take new information to her, it's not just going to be like, hey, Whitney, just checking in if you're ready to spend $150 on gut health. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that to Whitney. I'm gonna be like, hey, Whitney, last time we spoke, you asked me about products that we had that helped with stress. Here's one of the products in this story about my friend Jessica, who uses our natural chill pill. That's what she calls it. I thought you would love it. And I'm going to send her that testimony and maybe the product label. So every time you revisit somebody, you're adding value or sending a testimony, or, hey, I listened to this song during my workout today. I know you like to work out. You've got to listen to it. Like, you're just connecting with people, right? If you're going to do business and go on all these bougie plexus trips, don't you want to do it with people you like? Don't you want to do it with people that are like-minded? Okay. Now, like I said earlier, some of you are engaged in the process of creating a business builder, but not fully. Some of you are not doing it consistently. Some of you aren't doing it completely, like you did this step and you enrolled all the people, and then you're like, look at me, I'm a great enroller. And it's like, yeah, but none of them reordered. So you didn't completely finish the process, right? Or maybe you're just not engaged in that process effectively. So let's talk about effectively creating this business builder. So this looks like engaging with them on social media or in real life, getting on the phone, following up over the phone. How many of you have started implementing that over the last couple of weeks? Hannah couldn't be on tonight. She's a new mom, a new baby, but she is such a great example of taking this process and applying it overnight, which I love a good 3 on the Enneagram because they are doers. I am one myself. And so like, you give me a process, I'm going to try it. I'm just going to do it. Like, okay, I'm going to do it. Hannah did it. And she has 2 fast start silvers and 1 fast start senior silver. It's incredible. And here's the thing, those objections and the rejections that you get, people are less likely to give them to you on the phone. They're going to open up and they're going to connect with you. So maybe you're doing those things. Maybe you are following up. Maybe you're meeting them for coffee. Maybe you're Zooming with them at 10 o'clock at night and you're still not getting results. So let's look at why and what's keeping you from being effective. So number 1 is you're probably talking too much and not listening enough. And this is something that I really, really had to learn. And some of you know me very well, and you're probably laughing because you're like, girl, you still learning. And it's okay. I'm okay to admit that. So talking too much and not listening enough. People skills come in handy in this business. And when you connect with them to figure out the problems they have, then you can discover how you can solve those problems or ways to serve them with Plexus or the business opportunity. And you ask good questions, right? So pausing and waiting and letting them process, letting them answer, right? We have to allow them to, like, if we're just like rapid fire questions, like, what is your goal? Do this, And then we give them a laundry to-do list of how to go silver. And it's like, man, why didn't that work? Why aren't they silver yet? I told them what to do. Okay, but didn't you know she just had a baby? Or didn't you know that their car their engine light came on and they had a really rough weekend? You know what I mean? So like, we got to connect with our people. We got to connect with our people, asking good questions and then listening to the answers before responding. Now, if you're on the prowl, like for example, last month you could earn that Plexus Bluetooth speaker. This month it's that ceramic holiday mug. It's gorgeous. Did y'all see the pictures? OMG. But if you're on the prowl to get yourself a cute little ceramic mug, they're gonna realize that. If you're logging in and you're just like, hey, it's me again. I know I messaged you 7 times this morning, but I'm back, right? You're like Buddy the Elf calling his dad at work. That's what it reminds me of every single time. And if you've never seen the movie Elf, that's your homework. You have to go watch that movie. But Will Ferrell plays Elf. He's a grown man with this mentality of a kid, and he's calling his dad, and he's like, hey, Dad, what are you doing? I'm eating candy canes. Hey, Dad. And he's just like calling him at work. That is what you are like in somebody's inbox when you're not adding value and you're just there to get a sale. Okay. And so here's the thing about trust and connection that fuels investment. So put that in your notebook. Trust fuels investment, asterisk, a little highlighter, a little exclamation point action. When you build trust with the people that you're connecting to, they're going to be like, oh, she's been there, done that. Right. And the way we say been there, done that in this industry is called the feel, felt, found method. And you will hear that in sales books, sales podcasts, network marketing podcasts. Listen, like I could be like, Kayla, I felt the same way. I thought this was so expensive, but I knew that it was going to work for me. I've seen what it's done for my friends and I felt the same way. So what I found was that if I got to work and made a plan, I could make enough money back to cover next month's product costs without stressing out my spouse. So are you interested? Are you open-minded to doing a little work? Do you feel like that the risk is worth the reward? And most of the time, they'll say yes. They'll say yes because they're like, heck yeah, I'll sign up my neighbor, my mama, and my bestie. That's 3 people right there. The triplex combo is $124. That's $4.16 a day. The average Starbucks order is $8 for one person. Y'all, we cheaper than Starbucks at this point. I mean, come on. I leave my house, I blink, and I've spent $100, right? So people are spending that money. They're spending it. Why not with you, right? So use a method like Feel, Felt, Found to build that trust and connection and be like, listen, I didn't think I could spend that money either. But here's what I found. If I don't buy Pop-Tarts and fruit roll-ups at the grocery store, guess who has extra $100 in her bank account? I do. Okay. And I don't just mean for the kids. Sometimes I'll slip stuff in my buggy from myself. I know. We all guilty. But you gotta think long-term. What is this going to do for me in a week, in a month, in a year? Are my results going to be the same? Am I going to be able to fit in the pants that I'm trying to fit into? Am I going to feel better? Am I going to get up off the couch and not hurt all over? Right? Okay. So some of you are thinking, all right, Emily, I can connect with my people. If you want them to see the vision of getting to silver, we have to explain why they're doing the work to get that reward. So here are some questions to ask. And if you want one that you can just put in your back pocket and use all the time, is, oh my gosh, that's interesting. Tell me more about that. Tell me more about that is a great, it's not even a question. It's just tell me more. I want to know more about you. It's showing interest, right? And if you like a good book or an Audible, the book is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I don't even remember who the author is. Hold, please. I'll tell you real fast. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's by Stephen Covey. Okay? Covey. Stephen Covey. I don't know. Anyways, one of the chapters in that book, later in the book, it talks about seeking to understand versus, or seek to understand first and then to be understood. Don't just try to get your part out and convince them. Seek to understand. Ask questions. And some of you are probably thinking like, oh, I know a lot of people in my life that needs to read that book, right? Like my husband, he is a solution-driven man. When I come to him with a problem, he just wants to fix it. And sometimes I'm like, I just want you to listen. So now, being married for 13 years, we will have a conversation and he'll be like, real quick, am I listening or am I fixing? And I will be honest. I'm like, just listening, because there's sometimes where we just want to be heard, right? Well, so do your new VIPs when it comes to their health goals, or maybe they're taking triplex and they're just like, I'm not feeling this. Like, I'm farting every day. I don't know about this. Like, okay, how can we tweak this? How can we work on it? Maybe explain to them what's happening inside their body with dysbiosis and the gut imbalance. We have some great YouTube videos on our Plexus Worldwide YouTube channel that you can send them. Okay. Now, the person understands that you actually understand them when you repeat things back to them. So the first one was listen, shut up and listen. The second one was ask questions. This third one is repeat it back to them. Have you ever been to a restaurant and your waiter doesn't write it down and you're sitting there and you're like, oh, they're going to mess this up. They're going to mess it up. I'm not going to get my gravy and my husband's not going to get his tea. They're going to mess it up, right? You're just like mentally taking notes, and then they come back and they get it right because they have an amazing memory. That would be my brother. But no, most of the time they don't get it right. Okay. That's kind of how it is in this business. When you are talking to someone and you're talking, you're telling them your whole life story and look how great my results are, and and they're like mentally just, okay, but is this for me? Is this for me? Is this for me? And so sometimes you got to shut up and ask the questions, let them process and reply. And then once they've given you the problem in their life or the thing that they want help with, you reply, okay, so what I'm hearing is, or you can say something like, okay, I'm understanding that you're saying, okay? And people can read you. They will determine, okay, she really is listening. She really does care. Sometimes I have conversations with you guys and you're like, I can't believe you remember that. And I'm like, I know my brain is just as shocked, but it's because I remember some of those first time conversations. So you can overcome the objection by responding with what you know, because you ask good questions in the beginning. So when they don't reorder and they're like, well, I don't have the money, ask questions. Well, what would you be willing to do to have the money to pay for your products? Because you were feeling so good on them. Okay. And then here's the thing. If no action is happening, like they're not reordering, they're not posting on social media, they're not getting on the phone, they're not getting on Zooms, right? No action is happening. Newsflash, they still have an objection. There is something standing in their way that is preventing them from doing this, okay? And here's the thing, your energy is going to communicate to your VIPs, to your team. And here's the other thing, your most communication is nonverbal, right? Have you ever walked into a situation with a mom and her kid and you just know that kid done messed up because the mom was like, I don't have to say anything. I walk into my kid's room and it's a mess and I cross my arms and give them the look. They know. Game over, no Xbox, right? I see Kayla's daughter like, how do you know? Here's the thing. That nonverbal communication is just as important. That's why I like getting on Zoom with you guys. And I tell you to turn on your videos because I want you to see that I genuinely want you to understand the business and the questions and the things that I'm doing behind the scenes. I'm not just posting and getting all these customers. I talk to a lot of people every single day. And sometimes it feels like a lot, but the longer you do this, I feel like the more customers you can take on. Okay. So here's the thing. You're talking to them. You're overcoming objections. Some of you are so comfortable getting objections, you don't know what to do when you get a yes. Anybody? You get a yes and you're like, oh, are you sure? You know, you don't have to do this as a business. Like, you're like, really? So here's the thing. Let's get uncomfortable and let's grow with these people that are open to the business. Maybe, for example, I have a new VIP on tonight, Kayla. Kayla and I were talking about products yesterday. And Kayla told me, no, I don't have the funds. And I was like, understood. But then I asked Kayla another question, right? Kayla, didn't I ask you more questions? I kept going. I kept asking her questions because I was just like, no, you've come to me multiple times. I know you want this. Like, what is it? What is it? Is it really the financial? It could be. Is it her mindset? Most likely. And does she need someone in her corner cheering her on with the biggest megaphone ever? Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Moms especially, because literally today, I told my husband, I'm like, nobody listens to me. I do not feel heard. My shoulders are as hard as the table. I'm so stressed out because We have a busy day on Mondays. Like we just sports. And then I come and get on the Zoom with you guys and my kids put themselves to bed, which I do this to not do that. But you know what? I love you guys just as much as I love my kids. Okay. Here's the thing. And I was just irritated. And Scott was like, what's up? And I was like, I just have so much to do. And the holiday line launched and da 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 da. And he's like, okay. He was like, but this is also your job. And I was like, you're right. And then I think back to our first Zoom call 2 weeks ago when I clapped at y'all and I was like, do your job, right? You clock in, you tell people about health and happiness, you clock out. So I'm clocking back in to be with y'all tonight. And I clocked in the other night to have that conversation with Kayla. And look who's on this Zoom tonight. Kayla is. And so here's the thing. Kayla is open. This is a great example. So Kayla is open. So what to say, which as you head on into creating a new silver. If you haven't created a new silver, it's most likely a skill set gap. Okay. So it could just be a tweaking of words, which I told y'all about the Phil M. Jones book, exactly what to say. You can get that on Amazon. It's like $8.99, $7.99. But Phil M. Jones is the author, exactly what to say. So maybe it's a skill set gap. Maybe it's just, you're not asking the questions. Okay. The skill set isn't there most of the time because of your mindset. Has anyone ever thought, no one wants to do this with me? Nobody wants to do this as a business. Nobody wants this. That's a thought, you guys. That is not a freaking fact at all. Nothing about that is factual, unless you're just a really unlikable person, which I doubt it. But here's the new thought is, no one's doing this with me because no one knows what I do. This is why it's so important as you show up on social and you're telling people about gut health, just as much so you should be leading with the business. Talking about Punta Cana, talking about earning $1,600 during the holidays for getting 17 people to place an order. One of my favorite things to do with new ambassadors, which Kayla, get ready because here it comes, is get them some Post-it notes from Dollar General. Okay. Get yourself some Post-it notes from Dollar General and you're going to count backwards from 17. You're going to go 1 through 17 and you're going to put them on a wall and you have a little helper I see next to you. So this is perfect. You're going to put them on a wall. And it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 17. And you're going to tell your audience, I'm not just doing this for myself. I want to help you too. I'm looking to help 17 people start the gut health protocol that I just placed an order with. And some of you have been here for a minute and you're like, Emily, that's what we do when we're going for a rank up. Yes, you can do this every single month, whether or not you're going for a rank up. You got to put intention behind it. It's not just something you do once and then you forget about it and you're not doing it in your Instagram or Facebook stories. Every day you show up and you're like, I haven't had any takers yet, but I'm not giving up. I'm on day 3 of my plexus journey. I'm on day 400 of my plexus journey, whatever. But now I want to show people how important it is to not just take the products, but that you can help others find health and happiness, right? Okay. So you're sharing the opportunity with every new VIP that does say yes, but you're also sharing every single day on social media. And no, you're not annoying, because that's the second thought that comes up is, I'm not a salesperson and I don't want to be annoying. That's also a thought, not a fact. Hannah Kern is a senior Ruby on my team and is such living proof of this. She was a happy customer. I put her in a box, right? I put Hannah in the happy customer box. She was good. She was consistent. She had a subscription in place. She tried everything new that came out. She was happy. I got my 500 PV every single month. I was happy. And I made a business post and Hannah commented on it and said, I'm interested. And I was like, I looked at my husband. I did a happy dance. I was freaking out. And he was like, well, talk to her. And I'm like, no, she's a happy customer. Why would I tell her about the business? Right? Because I was so used to being told no that when I did have this yes, I didn't know what to do. So I reached out to Hannah and I was like, I can't believe you want to do this as a business. She said, I thought you didn't want me to do it with you because I didn't reach out to her about it. I kept her in that box. So you have to share it with every single person that signs up. We have a PDF file in the Wellbeing Society as well. I know some of you are on other team pages. You can get them in any team page. It's the business call PDF. And basically what it means, and Kayla, when I call you this week, we're going to basically do this word for word, but you call them and you ask questions and you connect with them. And hey, if you're loving your products, would you be open to sharing about them on social media? Which, Kayla, you're already kind of past that step, but that's the question. That's the magic question, is just asking someone, are you open if you love your products, right? And so, yeah, you do need to recruit to build a team here to make residual income. Yes, that's why we have such a great compensation plan. But you have to create momentum first, okay? And we got to get uncomfortable. And when we get those yeses, like it's okay to feel that way, okay? Maybe some of you have not created a new silver in a while or gotten yourself to silver because either you were handed a laundry list of to-dos or you're just doing the ones that don't have anything to do with the business. Like you're posting about gut health, you're taking your products, right? But you're not doing the actual things that get you to silver, that get you in momentum, right? Sometimes, for example, I used to watch we had a Plexus compensation plan video and then Celeste Gwynn's Diamond documentary. I watched those every single day. Like I had my college classes and then my baby would fall asleep and I would watch those videos. Like old school headphones because we didn't have AirPods in 2014. But I would watch these videos and because I just was curious. I'm like, how can I do this? I asked my business friends, I want to be good at this. What do I need to be doing? And that's how I got the book, Go for No, and then network marketing book, Go Pro. And so I'm like, oh, I guess I'm just going to read them. I got to figure this out. But we got to normalize the discomfort. Your brain is going to feel uncomfortable. Normalize that, you guys. Just because I'm more successful, AKA diamond, whatever that looks like to you, that doesn't mean I don't get uncomfortable. Do I know that I am living, walking proof and evidence that this is legit and anybody can get to diamond? Absolutely. But I also know it's hard work and there's days you got to get uncomfortable. There's going to be days where you get 25 no's and it's a little defeating and you're like, okay, if I just get one more no, I'm going to lose my ever loving mind, right? But then you do the 26th message and you get a yes. That's the only difference between you and me. But I've normalized the discomfort, right? If I'm nervous and I'm feeling fearful of rejection, what do I want to feel? How can I create that feeling that I want to feel? If I want to feel bold, excited, courageous, confident, then I need to tweak what I'm saying, tweak how I do it so I can feel that way. And when you feel bold, confident, and courageous, that person's like, heck yeah, right? Kayla didn't say, yeah, I'll sign up with you because I was like, so listen, I'm not very good at this, but would you just please? Yeah, I didn't grovel, but I was like, girl, no, ma'am. I think I said that to you in our chat. I was like, no, ma'am. That's not how we do things here. And I was confident, but there's days like where I'm talking to other people where I don't have that confidence. So I just want y'all to know I've normalized the discomfort because I know that excitement and boldness and courage is on the other side of that. And I'm just embracing it because here's the thing. It's how I choose to think. I told y'all, we do not say I can't in my household. It's like a bad word. Yes, you can. Everything is figure outable. Whitney has been on Zoom with me many, many times, and she has heard me and Scotty arguing, and then we stop and we pause and we look at each other and we're like, everything is figure outable. We just gonna figure it out. We're gonna be stressed out, might cry a little, might cuss a little, but everything is figure outable, right? And so I choose to think I can do this. I will figure it out. I don't care if I have to watch a diamond documentary every day for the next 7 years. Even if it took me 7 years to get diamond, you guys, a $50,000 paycheck, I would do the work for 7 years. Some of you have been doing the work for 7 years and you making minimum wage. So just saying, it's a little different business model, but that you will figure it out. Just like you didn't know what the heck you were doing your first day of your job. Okay. And it doesn't mean that it comes naturally. It's learned and it's practiced. Okay. It comes from what I choose to think and feel, and I embrace it. And then I don't avoid the actions that make me feel those types of way. I do my messengers things every single day. And then when I feel like nobody's replying, then I switch to voice message or I call people. You guys avoid actions to avoid the feelings that you don't want to feel, AKA judgment, rejection. Your kids don't listen to you every single day. So does it really matter? Does it make a difference? Don't your children tell you no at least once a day? At least, well, mine do. I'm going to send you my kids, right? So here's the thing. Discomfort is an okay emotion to feel because you're doing the work and you're growing. So we can acknowledge the discomfort. Okay, it's there. I don't really like the way I feel, but I know what I'm doing is worth it. I know that this is growing me. I know that sending this message could lead to a potential yes. And it's okay if I get no, because I want to be silver by the end of the day, by the end of the week, in 72 hours, whatever deadline you've put on your silver goal or developing a new silver. So maybe you're messaging your people who have already signed up. For example, Kayla, I know I'm picking on you tonight, but you're on and you're who I see. So it's like, Kayla just signed up. I'd be like, Kayla, my goal is to help you get to silver by the end of the week. So here's what you're going to post. Here's how you're going to do this. Who are you thinking about that you want to do this with? Coworkers, neighbors, family, friends, and then I'm going to walk her through that, but I'm not going to get discouraged if Kayla doesn't make the post. She has to decide that she wants it, that the risk is worth the reward. Okay. So real quick, I have some questions for you guys. A lot of the time you avoid those actions because you don't want to feel the feelings. So what if we think about this opposite, right? Why are you the perfect person to share this opportunity? Did you know that your brain, when given a question, it has to solve it? Have you ever seen a puzzle your kid's doing, or they're doing homework and the answer, but they're trying to figure it out and they're doing it at a turtle pace and you're sitting there and you're like, oh my gosh, if I just did it for them, right? That's your brain trying to solve the problem because it can't help it. So why are you the perfect person to share this opportunity? What should you be thinking about yourself and about this business every day to hit your goal? These are rhetorical. Write them down if you want to answer yourself. And then what should you be believing about this opportunity? If you've never been on one of our Friday opportunity Zooms, there's a couple of slides that I say, just have a few quotes on them. For example, one thing that I 100% believe about Plexus is our comp plan is the best in the industry with room to grow as much as you are willing to work for it. There's no limit to your potential earnings here. There's no cap. You can build as wide and as deep as you want. You will be paid on 7 levels, but I love that. And then something else that we like to say often when it comes to this business is we talk about courage, and may you have the courage this week to begin breaking patterns in your life that no longer serve you. Give yourself permission to pause and reflect, and remember that taking care of yourself doesn't mean me first. It means me too. I say these every single Friday when I talk about the business. I do it on purpose. 1, because I believe in it. 2, because I want you to believe in it. One of my favorite affirmations for myself, for my kids, for this business is I'm capable of learning. I can develop a silver. I can get to silver. I can help 3 people believe in gut health, right? I am able to engage in a process and fail forward. Someone is going to want to join me and I will be able to help them be successful. For those of you that like a good scripture to encourage you, Ephesians 3:20. To him who is able to do immeasurable more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us. There's a song out right now by Maverick City Music called More Than Able. Oh my gosh, it's on repeat. And I just cry because I think about my life 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I wouldn't even have Scotty. I definitely wouldn't have my kids. You are more than able. And of course, we can do all things through Jesus Christ. He gives us strength. 2 other verses, Romans 12:2, and then Matthew 19:26, which with God, all things are possible. A lot of you have that tattooed on your body, but do you believe it? Do you actually believe it? Because it is. All right. So here are some call to actions as we wrap up. You're going to use the business call PDF. It's a file on our team page with every single person that says yes to you and signs up. Now, if you're having a conversation with them about the business and products and they haven't signed up yet, you can still use that business PDF call. You can call it a script if you want, but it's really not a script because you have to come up with the questions. It just gives you ideas on there. So this looks like getting on the phone. You share your story briefly, and then you connect, and then the questions. Be curious, right? Talk about what made you uncomfortable in the beginning, okay? Something you could say would be like, I'm curious what has you open to this income opportunity? How much money would you need to make for this to be worth it? Tell me about your situation. So many of us could use an extra $300 to $500, and our Fast Start Silver bonus is right over $300. You could sign up 3 people. Here's my thought on this. If I need money and I don't feel like selling anything in my household, I'm going to go talk to people about plexus, right? I'm going to go talk to people about plexus. I'm going to go talk to people about gut health. And when I first started, I was thicker than a Snicker. Okay. I was thick. I was not healthy. I never drank water. I drank 6 Diet Cokes a day. People at Whataburger welcomed me with open arms and they knew me on a first name basis. It was that bad. I get it. And now it's, my husband literally brought me a refilled Stanley because I have like 4 of these today. And I can't go without my water now. And this is my career path now. Like, Emily, the health and happiness girl, like, what? Like, you're going to change. You're going to get uncomfortable. You're going to do new things here. And it's fun. And it's so rewarding. And you feel good. You feel good. I was looking at this picture of myself from a year ago when Scotty and I were not in a good place. And I was thinking about where my business was at. And like, I was doing a reset once a month. And I think about where we are now. And I remember like going on my 2-mile walks and literally like dying. I would come back and be like, I don't ever want to work out again. That was miserable. Like, everything just hurt. Okay. And here we are now, a year later, and I walk as my warm up and then I go run 3 miles. And I'm like, who am I? I never, ever, 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 literally last time I ran was 8th grade. I'm not joking. Like, we don't run over here. Right. And so now like we're running and I'm like, the only thing that changed was the belief in myself. So imagine yourself a year from now. How many silvers will be on your team? Will you be beyond silver? Do you have some things you need to learn? Or are you just going to go for it? Right? So, yes, Gabby, you're not failing. You're just new at this. It's one of my favorite things that I say to my kids. I kind of say this on every Zoom. Maybe we'll end it with that because I said it on the last 2 Zooms. I don't suck. I'm just new at everything. Because that's just kind of how it is here. You don't suck at gut health. Okay. It's just a part of your anatomy. Like, you just got to fix it. You got to make it better. Okay. You don't suck at sales. You just need to find the words to say. You don't suck at social media. You just got to find a habit and a routine. Instead of getting on Facebook to scroll, get on Facebook to find 3 people who want gut health and get you some money in the bank. You could literally, for those of you that are brand new here, you could make $300 by next week. For those of you that have been here for a while, you can help someone on your team make $300 by next week. And that is way more rewarding than your own paycheck. I tell you what, getting someone else to silver is the best feeling. Ashley Smith's on. She has someone that's about to go silver, working on senior silver. Vanessa has a new girl. Lauren has a new senior gold. Paula's gold. Like, some of you guys are already doing these things and you're working, but like, you can't get discouraged when one person gives up, right? Every single month, if I were to look at my numbers and at how many people didn't reorder, like, that would be really discouraging. What sucks is right now, y'all have less than 20 people in your report. So it makes a big difference. When you have a team of 8 to 10,000, it still makes a difference, but the impact isn't as significant on the heart as it is on the brain. So I hope that this call tonight encouraged you to take that next step and to see that you are equipped. You have the resources. You have cheerleaders behind you. Like, you got this. Don't you dare discredit yourself. Well, I can't get anyone to silver. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And you're going to affirm that. And you're going to, whether you're going for silver or you're getting someone to silver, you have the tools. One of my favorite resources that I'm going to be implementing with everyone is we have a board for it. So if you haven't downloaded the app, it's boards. It looks like this. It's black and white. It just says boards, BOARDS. And what we do is when we create challenges that we don't want on the team page all the time, I can now directly send people this board. And so it gives you day-by-day challenges to grow your business. Yes, Kayla, it's coming to your inbox. So here's the thing is, we call it Silver and 6 or get your products paid for, but it's just kind of like the baby steps of how we get the ball moving every single day. For those of you that are wanting to develop more silvers in your team, use this tool every week. Just like people are resetting every week, Silver and 6 or Silver and 7, whatever you want to call it. That's a great way to get the ball moving. Whether you yourself, can you share or send that? Yes, I can. I will, what will I do? I don't know. Maybe I'll post it. I'll post it in the team page and in our chats. but it looks like this. So you have a daily checklist. Can you see this? Kind of, sort of. Okay. So like day 1 is this checklist. Okay. So you'll have your goals for the week and you'll have your daily goals. So on Monday, there are 3 things you have to get done. Tuesday, 3 things you have to get done. And not only can you do these things, but the new people that you sign up can do these things. All right. And then it just walks you through day 1 all the way to day 6. On day 7, you recap and you look at what can I pivot? What can I tweak? Then you do it again the next week. You do this every day until you hit the goal. Okay. My personal goal every month is always to sign up at least 3 new VIPs. And then I revisit the ones that signed up last month and I present them this. And another great thing that we like to do that I just recently started doing with my assistant is we send them a sample of something that they didn't order. So if they got the triplex, we're going to send them a sample of Active and Hydrate. Hey, thanks for signing up. Here's something you didn't get. And not only is it allowing them to try something new, I say, tag me on social media when you get these new samples in, or tag me when you get your order. It creates curiosity and people are like, oh, what is that? Oh, I've been looking for a new energy drink, or I've been looking for new supplements. I imagine Plexus being all the replacements in your pantry or your medicine cabinet right now, right? Instead of Tylenol, you got Ease. Instead of Gatorade, you got Hydrate. Instead of diet soda, you got your Plexus Slim, right? If you need, that big giant thing of fish oil that's been in your pantry for 7 years because you forget to take your omegas, now you got Mega X. For those of you that are like, you put spinach in your protein shakes and you don't finish your protein shake, we have a product called Greens. And it has fermented fruits and veggies, kombucha. It's amazing. It tastes like pears and apples. It's really, really good. It's a little gritty because of the fermented fruits and veggies, but you want some extra fiber in your diet, especially people that are getting in more protein. Y'all, we have good greens. I've had some greens that straight up taste like soil, literal dirt. And so we have some really good greens. We have great products. Explore. Even if you don't have the money to try them all right now, at least go offer something new to your audience on social media once a week. Like, yeah, you're loving triplex, but when's the last time you talked about, greens or something? Not to mention our holiday line launched today. You could literally help 3 people order the ultimate holiday pack or add on snickerdoodle to their triplex. Did you see the cute red cup? Oh man, I don't have it in here. The cute red, it looks like a Starbucks cup. It's like studded and it says Plexus on it. That comes with 2 bags of snickerdoodle. I love the holiday launch as add-ons to like triplex or like slim and collagen, because all of those offer immediate results. And then they get a little fun glimpse of Plexus, which by the way, the snickerdoodle protein is our favorite. We've already have like 10 bags in all of our subscriptions. We're so excited. It's Scotty's favorite. It literally tastes just like the cookie. For anyone that's never had it, I don't know how you feel about cinnamon sugar, but it is the best flavor that we have. And so we have like that, and then the body cream and the body oil and the little hand creams. If you're a teacher or if you have kids that have teachers, do not go to Bath & Body Works. Don't you? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. We're going to log in. We're going to order a holiday set and you can gift it. The hand cream set, keep the little turquoise travel case for yourself. And then there's 3 hand creams. That's 3 teachers that you could give a little gift with. But get creative with our line and have some fun with it. Post about it. Share with your neighbor. Share with your bestie, your Bible study group, people at the gym. Like, you just have no idea what someone goes to bed at night praying about. Maybe they feel like crap. Maybe they'll do anything. Maybe they're looking at becoming an Uber driver. One of my friends, she was like literally looking at getting a second job and being an Uber or Lyft driver. And she messaged me. She's like, you know what? Maybe I should just do this. I'm like, yeah, you should. So I'll leave you with that. Thanks for getting on, you guys. If you missed weeks 1 and 2, they're up on the YouTube channel. You can watch them. And then this recording will be up tomorrow. I will see you guys next Monday. And we're going to walk through the compensation plan and why getting to silver first creates momentum for getting to 100 point growth and getting to gold. Bye, everyone. Have a great night.